Okay. Big smiles, big smiles. This is a different setup for me because I have a new desk and I can't have my bookshelf directly next to me anymore, so she's back there. But we are now talking about I think, you know, okay, fun things. I bought more books, and it might be like, Megan, why did you buy more teen girl books? Because it's March, and it's my birthday month, and I need serotonin. So, I did. I bought The A-List by Zoe Dean, which I already had Talent, and I'll buy the other books in that series as I read them, but I saw it and they were like, it's a collection for like $15, and I was like, that sounds like more than one book. Right up my alley. So that'll be coming as we are drawing so close to the end of the Clique series. So weird. I just am popping. I think I'm afraid of things that end. I'm afraid of change. So it's like, and my necklace is backwards, which really isn't my issue. I feel like that's a problem for you guys, because you actually have to see my neck. I can't see anything. I can't see a thing. Like, have you ever seen a more beautiful creature? God popped off with this one, baby. But yeah, so my original plan for this series was that I was going to read all the books and then go back and do all the auxiliary media. So I was like, I'm gonna read all the books, and then I'm gonna go back and read the summer collection, and then I'm gonna go and do the prequel book. But it turns out what I learned with the summer collection is that she puts plot. She had like an order that these books came out in, and she puts plot in them that are necessary for the next book. So I had to read them in a certain order, and this is no excuse for why it took me 3 months to read this book. I just was having a bad time. Just a straight up not good time for me. But I'm better now. Seasonal affective disorder. Be damned, the sun is out. I opened my window today and felt motivated to film, and then was like, oh, that helped? That helped? So, I'm back in the saddle, as the kids say. The kids never say that. I'm back in the saddle at my new desk. And I have this book to read, and I have to go get the books in the pile to do our little sting, but there's so many books now that I know that that's gonna suck. And if I've had one brain cell to clink together, I would have moved all of the books already. Okay. Alright, so this month's book is Boys R Us, which I think is a very not fitting name, because I would say the boys have the least amount to do with this book as in any other of these books. Normally, I do like a spread shot with these books, where I'll do like my hand holding the book and it's a close-up of the book. But I think this is fine. I think this is fine for what we're doing. This book has the least to do about the boys. It's mostly about the fallout post P.S. I Loathe You, which was Massey, all of her friends being like, hey, I don't think I want to be friends with someone who doesn't want me to be a person outside of them and make my own decisions and have friends. And if you, like, what's the point of being friends with me if you can't acknowledge my skills and usefulness outside of you? It's just you telling me what to do even when you're not the one that is most apt to be making this decision. which I am a delegate type of person. I know what I am and am not good at. Am and are not good at. But because I know these things about myself, in friendships, I can delegate and say, you're good at this thing, you do it. In a project, I feel like I'm a pretty good leader in that respect because I have no interest in leading and unilaterally leading. I don't think the person who I think the person who knows the most of the person who knows how best to get it done efficiently. So, like, that should be everyone's first goal. I did not cut the hair after I did it, and now I got all these fucking lucky ends. So let's read the back of the book. PC is out, Mac is in. Massey Block. After disbanding the Pretty Committee, Massey takes charge like Visa, forming OCD's hottest clique yet, Mac and Crew. Even though money can't buy love, it can buy new friends. Or at least model actresses who will act like your besties until you get real ones. Lights, camera, action. Alicia Riviera. Hearts her new role as Alpha of the Soulmates, spelled SOUL-M8. BOCD's first ever boy-girl clique. But when the boys head back to the newly renovated Briarwood Academy, will the remaining soulmates become Foursquares? Okay, then. Dylan Marvel. I'm gonna beat the shit out of these people. Dylan Marvel is happy times 10 to finally have a crush who's crushing back. Especially since they love all the same things. Marshmallows, lip kissing, and chugging Red Bull. I could have probably burped, but that would have been gross. My mother would be disappointed. Kristen Gregory scored 3 goals on the soccer field last week and Massey's crush, which earned her an ejection from her ex-BFF's heart. Can Massey forgive and forget, or is Kirsten out of the game forever? Claire Lyons has declared herself neutral in the battle of the cliques, but dividing her time among Massey and the soulmates, and Cam has left her stretched thinner than extra small spandex. Can she get her friends to reunite, or will she be forced to pick a side once and for all? Alright, cool, and what book comes after this? So, what book comes after this is actually the prequel book, Charmed and... because it's so long. Show you my note-taking page. Charmed and Dangerous, The Rise of the Pretty Committee, Clique series. That's the next book. The video will be coming whenever it comes. Don't push me. Oh, god damn it. I have a lot of catching up to do. I just don't think I'm gonna catch the rabbit before the end of March, April, which would have been my original end date. But know that I will be done before the summer for our big summer series. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you, because it took me 3 months to read this book. I don't have a lot of like notable quotes that I felt needed to be read. And really, I skipped through most of the filler. This book is a lot of filler. Like, you know where it's going really quickly. Like, you can, I mean, from the back of the book. If you read the back of the book first, which I don't, you know exactly where this is going. And even without reading the back of the book, you know where this is going. Massey's going to buy friends. It's not going to work out. Alicia's not going to have a good time leading the soulmates. It's not going to work out. They reconcile. Or they don't. That was the only thing that was the question, is if they were going to reconcile at the end. Because sometimes the girls fight and they don't reconcile until 2 books later. I swear these books are written in a way where it's like she has a word count and her author, her editor was like, hey, love what you're doing here, but you've made P.S. I Loathe You too long, and you've made Boys R Us too short. So things that could have been at the end of P.S. I Loathe You, like the boys going back to Briarwood, I feel like that would have made a better like ending instead of the beginning of this book. Like showing that like they burned everything down and it was for naught. And making the reader sit with that. For however long it took in between books. But instead, we end with the girls fighting, which is fine if you don't know what's coming next, which maybe Lacey didn't. But because you don't know what's coming next, and then you come back, and literally the first day back where everyone is together, it's announced that the boys are going back to Briarwood. Briarwood's been rebuilt. Of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. I've already actually gotten stuff on my dress. But there's the concealer from earlier, and there's lipstick. I love it here. I absolutely love it here. It's so much fun. Everyone's so creative. I feel like I should get it off the skirt first. But because of that, it starts with all of the girls getting blindsided by this new information. And then like the boys are just out of the plot. Like, I think Dempsey is a really interesting character as a male foil to Massey, as far as like, you know, I'm gonna be the boys Massey instead of Darrington. Because it seems like Darrington is the leader of their friend group, kind of, until Dempsey arrives. And he shows back up. He's good at soccer. He's got an interesting point of view. But they essentially are like, no more of these. No, too many characters. They just like hard reboot everyone gone. Because how long has it been since we've heard from Olivia? She's dead. She's dead. She is not alive. Oh, the comical airhead was your favorite? Boo you. Kaleidos products. So it's just like, you know what the plot of this is. There are too many characters. She packs in too many characters, and instead of, I don't know, they're just like, we are not covering them. So all the boys go back to BOCD, and Alicia's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna lose half my members. We're boy-girl clique because everyone's dating. Dylan's like, do boy-girl cliques work? I've never heard of that working at BOCD. She's like, I'm gonna make it work because Massey would make it work. And she's like, not even like I'm better at being an alpha than Massey, but it's like, someone's gotta be the alpha. Massey's not being a good one. So I guess I'm gonna step my cookies up. Meanwhile, start of the book actually starts with Massey not knowing that all of her friends fucking hate her. So, on Friday, Kirsten said that she had bad sushi, and Dylan friendship broke up with her to get with Derek. On Monday, Kirsten tells her to come meet her in the in the gym. They come in. Lane is also there. Lane is like, she's here to tell me he likes me. It's like, no, she's here to tell me he likes me. And it's like, do I have a surprise for both of you? But she is like, hey, actually, he doesn't like either of you. He likes me. I'm gonna date him. Which is, it's like good for Kirsten. I want good things to happen to Kirsten. I don't want good things to happen to Massey, but I want her to stop terrorizing people. And I feel like the only way we're gonna get that is if good things happen to her. So I guess you gotta give that up. Massey and Lane decide that they're going to, band together to get revenge. She wants revenge on Kirsten. Massey wants revenge on the whole Pretty Committee. Except for Claire, because Claire is playing Switzerland. She's just like, I just wish all my friends would get along. And it's like, take a stand, girl. One of your friends is clearly in the wrong. Like, fully and clearly, I believe that, like, maybe it's not chill to start a dance crew behind your friend's back. But, like, cheese on rice. Massey just being, like, bad, not as good at things, and it's like you're friends with people who have a specific image in mind, and if you're bad at this thing, it's bad for their image. It's just so frustrating because it's like the Massey and Kirsten thing. It's like, that's not my fault that he likes me, and I like him back. And no boys liked, like, I know she had 2 boys that liked her, but we never get to hear from Kirsten. So, like, hearing from her and it immediately being a problem, it's just so frustrating. So, as this plot goes on, again, I said it's filled with a lot of filler. I normally break up my notes via I normally break down my videos by paragraph, by like chapter breakdowns, and so you can, like, I know who's speaking, but I ended up doing like the first half of the book into like a brain dump because there's so much filler. There's like, it's all important, like we find out that, like, she's gonna have this boy-girl crew, and we see why boy-girl crews don't work. It's because the boys are annoying. That's just the thing, is everywhere they go, the boys don't want to, like, gossip and talk. It's not like a girl crew. It's boys, and they want to play football and, like, hand football with the paper football, and they're loud and destructive. All the things that, like, these are all, like, great ideas that Massey adjacent ideas, but it's boys. They go and get manicures and pedicures, and like, I had to get a manicure and pedicure, and they whine. And then they're in the massage parlor, this fancy place. Massey would never let herself be seen in public in such an unprofessional way, and they make a ruckus to the point that the woman is like, So, another note that I think is very funny is that they don't really focus on these girls' birthdays. I don't know, I kind of expected, like, maybe one of these books to surround, like, a birthday party, like, planning a birthday party, but they never focus on that. Massey's a Leo, so we know her birthday happened in August or July, and we never focus on that. The girls are just now 13. So they've just moved on. If you remember, we know that, I can't, I'm too far away to close my door. Alright. It's shaking the table. Okay. So, if you remember in this book in the Clique, we had the, whatchamacallit? We had the Ho 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 holiday coat drive where Massey was collecting her old clothing to donate to charity. Well, we're doing the same thing. Well, because Massey's so depressed, Massey's mom is like, why don't you help me do it, Shug'em Snuggums? And she's like, yeah, totally. Well, now she's getting involved in her A-plot, and that becomes honestly forgotten to the wayside until halfway through the book. Oh, I do have the entire transcript of that call. I have that entire... I think it's very funny that Alicia has to break up with the Hartnets. Again, that's more filler plot. Because, again, it's just like girls that she added and then was like, actually no, and just bye. So, Claire's trying to balance hanging out with the Hartnets, the soulmates, and Massey. Massey meets up with Lane to concoct this idea. She's like, you know what? I'm gonna get me some actresses. I'm gonna get me some girls. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the damn thing. So they go to the city. They go into Manhattan to the meatpacking district. And then, if that's not in Manhattan, don't tell me. I'm not from New York. I don't care. They then go to the meatpacking district, and they're there to pick out some ghouls from Lainey's aunt, who is a total alpha, and B, the talent manager for like young girl actresses. These girls have been in small-time movies, they've been in Tampax commercials, they've been in all sorts of things. That will come up later. Massey picks her crew of girls. Because this all happens on page 110. We're only like 10 minutes into the actual review if I edit everything properly. But we end up with these girls that are Lila. She's America's next indie queen. She's worked on the stage and recently wrapping up a 6-month run with the ensemble cast of Chicago. Most importantly, Lila never speaks above a murmur. She counts eating in public as one of the 7 deadly sins, and she has never burped, ever. A petite blonde in a purple silk mini dress, and gold stilettos hit the stage. Her platinum hair was parted down the center and cascaded down to her boobs in soft muse waves. Dark roots peeked out along her part. Her charcoal gray linered eyes was slightly smudged, both in a total deliberate way. She walked towards the center stage with a total alpha confidence, planting one stiletto loudly in front of the other. Mia loves the spotlight. When she's not out partying with Rumor, she's working on some of the hottest young television sets out there, including Friday Night Lights, MTV's The City. Including Friday Night Lights and MTV's The City. She's currently in negotiations to star in her own reality spin-off for the network. And Mia speaks zero Spanish. Next, a petite brunette in a tracksuit leaped across the stage, cradling a soccer ball under one arm. Her high ponytail swung in rhythm behind her. Jasmine is our highest paid commercial actor. She's portrayed a soccer player in commercials for products such as Powerade and Tampax. But in real life, Jasmine prefers Stella to soccer any day of the week. She doesn't own a single tracksuit, turtleneck, or hoodie, and her parents are legally prohibited from monitoring her school outfits. Emancipated minor, Jasmine clarified. In addition to commercial work, Jasmine has appeared as an extra in several box office hits, including background actor. We prefer the term background actor. Last but not least, Caitlin. An African-American girl with dewy skin, intense gray eyes, and a short angular bob entered. She walked in towering YSL peep toes with as much ease as if they were bedroom slippers. Caitlin hails from Los Angeles. She's a West Coast girl with East Coast style. She hasn't worn Keds since she was 5. Which coincidentally was the same year she swore off candy and homemade jewelry. Plus, she wears a size 6 shoe, and her favorite hobby is sharing her killer boot collection. So, these are the girls. Day 1, Massey comes in pumping. She's real excited about it. And, she's so ready. She's like, cool. Really? It's like I don't have a mirror here. God damn it. So, Massey is ready to show off her Mac and the crew of Mac and Crew. But they're actresses, they're not improv artists, and they're not her real best friends. So as they're going through getting ready to posit, the only thing she gives them is that they go to the International Billionaire School, IBS, and that they hang out with high schoolers, and that's why they've never seen them before. But when it's time to like show up and confront and go up against Alicia and her already pre-built actual group of friends, consisting of Alicia, Dylan, and Kirsten. Of course, Claire is playing Switzerland somewhere else. Get that girl a Xanax. She's severely depressed, and I'm becoming sick and tired of it. They come up together, and she's like, oh, look at these girls. Everyone looks good. But they didn't look good. So it's like immediately she just falls apart. Like, she's like, oh my god, I've got a gossip point. And she's like, it's worth 7,000 gossip points. And then she's like, yeah. And they're like standing there and they're just like, yeah. And she's like, Alicia's like, that's interesting. Alright, I'm gonna go. Not deal with you two weirdos. Where's Baby Arm? Baby Arm! Baby Arm goes in the desk now, I guess. She's got a home. But it's just like, ugh. So Massey is pissed because they fail the first test. They're all sitting around in their trailer, which they've actually taken the Bratfest at Tiffany. I have to pull from the bottom this time. They've actually taken the Bratfest at Tiffany's trailer and turned it into the place for little starlets to get ready. So she goes there. They're like, we're SAG actors. You cannot just have us working stupid hours. So she then is like, you're gonna be working overtime, but they're like child actors, so there's like laws in place. But whatever, they're doing school. Mia and Massey get into it, of course, and Massey fires her. Lane's like, okay, I guess I'll call my aunt and she'll get us someone else new down in here. She gets this new girl that I cannot remember her name. I think her name was Cassidy, or Cassandra. Very close to Massey, Cassie. She's got dark hair. She's very pretty. And, Massey's like, blonde pixie cut. I will not have any, like, competition. She said, Tyra, who? Who? So Massey finds out about Alicia's boy-girl dinner party. And then remembers the fact that she has to do the holiday thing. And is like, okay, I'm gonna use my hair stripe from the summer collection where she gets a purple hair stripe. Calls Justin Timberlake and all of them and is like, get over here. They all text her back and are like, expired. No, you can no longer do this. She's like, I actually don't fully know how she remedies this, because at this point, it was last weekend and I was like, I gotta get this book finished. So I skipped a couple of pages. Lord forgive me for this filler ass book, because that's all filler to me. She gets the party rolling. Alicia is getting her boy-girl party. Claire's like, I need all my friends to be together, so she convinces Alicia to move the party to the guest house, and it's on the same night. The girls, the night of the party, everything is going well for Massey's party. They've procured, she tasked Lane with getting some 9th grade boys. She's got the 9th grade boys. Ooh, I forgot. My lips weren't actually glossy right now. She's like, cool, everything's going well. Claire makes friends with Landon. Landon has taken a fancy to Massey. Claire trying to sneak all the girls into the party. Everyone into the party, because it's like a big commotion, distracting from the dinner party that the boys already don't want to be in. Looping back to the dinner party thing. I feel for Alicia, because you don't understand how annoying men are about dressing up. Until, like, I literally, while I was watching this, I saw the TikTok from that girl who was like, where her boyfriend, I don't even know if it's a prank or not, and he's like, if you wanted me to dress up, you should have said I needed to dress up, but saying we're going to this dinner doesn't mean that I have to dress up. Shut up. Shut up. Use some common sense. These are teenage boys, so they do not have that. But when it's like, show up and look nice, not look cool, show up dressed. If we're having a nice, like, at-home dinner situation, dress up nice. You don't even have to, oh, my dress pants don't fit. You're sitting at your own kitchen table, unbuttoned. I can't tell, but if we're not gonna, we're in a recession. I hate men. Oh my god, we are in a recession. So, Alicia, like, has paparazzi. The girls are all dressed up. They're all wearing heels and shit. And Josh shows up wearing a suit, but the rest of the boys don't. And he immediately takes off his suit coat once he sees that the rest of the guys aren't wearing them. And Alicia is hurt that he doesn't want to dress up with her. Like, she was like, I thought you were different. I thought you were different. Sorry, my chin is itchy. But he's not different. He's 13. So they go over there because the boys are more interested in that than they are in playing fancy dinner party. They're just too young for it. These girls are overly mature for being in 8th grade, and these boys are just 8th. They're not living in a Delia's catalog like our cast is. So it's whenever they have to intersect with something outside of their Delia, catalog lifestyle, it always ends badly because they're like glitter pens and furry shit and fancy dresses, and it's like, of course this is how it should always be, and it's not, because that's not how the rest of the world exists. So they try to get into the party. Claire tries to sneak them in. Security immediately catches them, kicks them out, and Landon, who is supposed to walk with Massey on the fashion show stage, because somehow it is also a fashion show. Massey is pissed about this, but she walks with Bean. Also, Landon has a pug. So she's walking out there. The rest of the girls go first. The catwalk is the Block's pool. They immediately fall into the pool. And everyone is just like, blah, 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 blah. She's like, it's a failure. I'm going to lay down in the dark. So next day, Claire is coming to see Massey. I know I'm speeding through all this, but truly, it is unimportant. Next day, Claire is riding up and down the block being like, how am I going to talk to Massey and apologize for all this? And she runs into Jasmine, I believe. And Jasmine's like, oh, hey, we work together. Oh my god, we did. You're an actress. And yeah, well, Jasmine's like, yeah, you're an actress too. I hope the role goes better for you than it did for me, because I wasn't able to, hack it with her. And she goes through all of like Massey's like isms and things that she doesn't like, and she's like, yeah, I know. And she's like, here you go. And she's like, how do I know you? How do I know you? They worked on Doll L for Loser together. They had like multiple scenes together. So she's like, you're actresses? You were hired? She's like, yeah. I assumed you're also up for the role. So Massey's like, or Claire's like, side eye, and immediately is like, hey, I need you to help me do something. So Landon is there talking later on the evening. Landon is talking to Claire outside. Massey's parents go and talk to Massey in the hot tub, and it's like, you can't get rid of your friends because they're bad employees. You wouldn't get rid of you wouldn't have any employees if every time one of your employees fucked up, you fired them immediately. But it's like, I feel like the thing you should be teaching your kid is that your friends are not expendable. But whatever. I'm not a parent. So they move there. She's like, well, I guess I shouldn't fire the actresses. Maybe I should give them another chance. The actresses show up at her house. She sees Landon talking to Claire. Because she sees Claire as a threat all the time. She sees him flirting and is like, and Landon's like, oh, hey, yeah, I got kicked out of the party. I didn't not want to talk to you or hang out with you. I got kicked out. She's like, I guess I forgive you. And he's like, hey, why don't you come to my mom's pug store dog grooming opening? And she's like, can I bring Bean? And she's like, yeah. And like all the rest of the crew comes, and they show up and they're there, and Claire just literally texts Kirsten being like, new pet store just opened up, maybe you'll find something for Beckham here. She's like, totally. And then it just shows up, like, super easy to get her. Honestly, good for her. So they are, that looks so pretty. So everyone's there, they kind of avoid each other for a little bit, and then they meet up, and everyone apologizes. Alicia's like, I shouldn't have been, and Dylan's like, I should have asked permission first. But it's like, every time she tried to, Massey threw a fucking fit, so whatever. Kirsten's like, sorry, I stole the boy that you liked. And again, like, I hate the fact that Dylan is apologizing for taking someone's supposed leftovers. Truly, I think it says something about me that I don't believe that that an apology can be like swapped. I think if you feel bad about something that you did and want to apologize, that is, I'm not saying that everything said in anger is reasonable. However, it's like, I'm sorry I made you mad when the other person did something unhinged or was being unreasonable is not a reason to apologize, and you shouldn't have to apologize. I'm sorry that you're upset is like, oh, I think that says more about me than it does about the book, because this keeps coming up where they're like, I'm sorry, Massey, that you did something unhinged and I responded to it. You did something unhinged because I was trying to be a person. But whatever, the group's back together, the girls are back together. I've already started, unlike that, the end. But the thing about the next book, I've already started reading it, because whatever. I'm so behind, I need to catch up. So I started reading it, and like, you're getting an idea of what Massey is like when she's not the leader and doesn't feel like she has that control. And everything makes sense, but it's also like she got so power drunk being the leader of the pretty committee that she just completely, like, she's lost the plot on herself. And I think 5th or 6th grade, they're still in elementary school, her would be disappointed. I'm really excited to read it because I've owned that book for the past 10, 11 years, 12 years probably at this point. So it's really nice to finally read it. Yeah, I just had that bad boy in the background. So that will be the next Clique video that comes out. There will be other videos in between there. I've got some stuff filmed and edited. Obviously, I'm going to do the next book section after that. Yeah, Bachelor stuff is kind of returning. I've decided to just do 2 videos for that season. For the season, a front half video and a second half video. I don't even know who I think is going to be Bachelorette. Doll videos are going to be making a return. Avi. My big summer series is going to be Shadow High's webisodes and the history of Shadow High, so get ready for that in the summer months, because I like having those out. Those are super fun to have during the summer, and they're just really light stuff to focus on. Yeah, you can always check out my beauty channel, Megan Blush, and you can always follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, which is normally linked in the description. I will not lie, I'm not always the best about that. Yeah, I'm gonna go and alright, and the next book in the series will be These Boots Are Made for Stalking. So look forward to that. Or don't. Hate me. I don't know. I'm trying my best here, bro. Oh my god. Is that on camera?